Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Pasuk of Vayeishev. For this week's edition, we go back to the beginning of Vayishlach, where Yaakov sends malachim to Esav, messengers or angels to his brother Esav, with a message to convey Im Lavan Garti, that I was staying by Lavan, and that there was a hint here, an allusion that Garti, which is the same letters and therefore the same numerical value as Taryag, the 613 commandments, he wanted to hint that he kept all the mitzvos, that Taryag mitzvah Shemarti, that while I was with Lavan, I kept all of the mitzvos. Now it says the language in the Midrash of Shemarti. Why doesn't it say the normal and common Kiyamti? What is the difference between Shemarti and Kiyamti? So for that we come back into Pasuk of Vayeishev. We don't have to wait a whole week for the next week's parsha to answer the question. It's right here. It's already next week compared to Vayishlach, and we have where Yosef was telling about his dreams, that he'd have dominion over his brothers. They and Yaakov Avinu would bow down, and the response when Yaakov heard this was V'aviv shamaras hadavar. He was silent and he watched to see what would happen. Meaning, he was anticipating, he believed in it, and he was waiting to see how this would play out, that Yosef would become the king. So it was a matter of expectations and something that he wanted to happen. So that's what brings us back to Vayishlach. When it says, V'tayug mitzvah shemarti, it doesn't say kiyamti, because Yaakov could not keep all the mitzvos. He can keep most of them, but he could not keep the mitzvah, for example, kibud v'eim, and this is from the Chasam Sofer. So because he was away from his parents. Also, he was away, and he wasn't in Eretz Yisrael, so he couldn't be mekayim the mitzvah yeshivas Eretz Yisrael. So those were two things that he can anticipate. He could be shomer and would want to do, but he couldn't do it. Of course, if it's an ones, if you prevented somehow from mitzvah you really want to do, you do get credit for it. So that's what shemarti is, telling us that shemarti, I wanted to do as much as I can, but I couldn't be exactly mekayim. I think this works out well with a Vort brought down in the Sefer Talei Oros, that in the beginning of Vayeshev, Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph, it says, Vayeshev Yaakov be'eretz Meguri Aviv be'eretz Canaan, that Yaakov dwelled in the place of the sojourn of his father, or his fathers, and in the land of Canaan. But we know that his father lived in Canaan. Why is that to say both be'eretz Meguri Aviv and be'eretz Canaan? So I think this connects to what we said before. When Yaakov was away, he was not able to mekayim the mitzvos of kibud v'eim and yeshivas Eretz Yisrael. Meanwhile, Esav has the zechus of living in Eretz Yisrael and did a very good job of kibud v'eim. So now the role has changed. Once Yaakov came back and settled, and in fact, this is when Esav left and he never came back to Eretz Yisrael. He gave up the opportunity for kibud v'eim, except for, I guess, by the kvura of his father, but also in Eretz Yisrael. Esav didn't come back to Eretz Yisrael, but Yaakov was there. So Yaakov was here. He was be'eretz Meguri Aviv, in the land of his father, so he could be mekayim kibud v'eim with his old father, his zaken father, and he was be'eretz Canaan. He was back and able to do the mitzvah of kibud v'eim, the two mitzvahs that he was shomer for, that he was anticipating.